Yes, I'm crying. And I have been crying. Have you ever felt so afraid because you just want it to be so good? Like, have you ever felt so afraid to go for the thing that you want or start the thing that you've been wanting to start because you're afraid that it might not work out or it might not turn out as good as you could imagine it? Because that's kind of what I'm moving through right now. And I wanted to make this video because I feel like we don't share these moments enough, especially if you're an entrepreneur, if you're running the show solo. It's really scary. It's scary to go for the things that you want. It's scary to lead a life that feels like there's not a blueprint in the world that could help you map out the next step. It feels scary when you feel like you're alone, even though you're not ever alone. And we can get stuck in our minds. We can get stuck replaying and replaying logic, and logic is something that the subconscious mind doesn't understand. Logic is something that prohibits us from going for the thing that is gnawing at our soul. Logic is something that doesn't allow us to go off of felt sense, intuition, an inner knowing that can only be felt, barely described by words, and less understood by the conscious mind more than anything. So I'm making this video for those of you who have ever felt stuck or are feeling stuck. For those of you who feel lost or maybe a little confused, for those of you who are starting over and beginning again, because my gosh, it's hard. And maybe it doesn't have to be so hard. Maybe hard is just a word we've gotten so used to using, just like busy. We throw it in when we want because it's what we hear everyone else doing instead of just saying a different word and cultivating a different energy because it's possible. It's possible for it to not be hard. It's possible for it to, not be the same way that everyone else has described it as being. Maybe creating the life you dreamed of is actually easy. Maybe it's easier than we've ever thought. And maybe it's not even about thinking. Maybe it's about feeling. I don't really know. And maybe there's something to this because I feel like there's something to this. I'm just kind of sick of showing up on the internet in the way in which things seem perfect. And I've said this on Instagram, I've said it on TikTok, and now I'm here saying it on YouTube that I don't want to show up as this perfect, polished version of me online because that's just effing fake, to be quite fair. And there are moments like this where I'm blinded by my own experiences and brought back to the light by new networks of feeling, sensing, living, breathing that I didn't even know existed, but that I needed to know existed because that's the only way we change what comes after this moment. I just want more real people on this internet. I want to relate to more real people. I want to see more real bodies, more real faces, more real stories, more real experiences. And we see the end result online. We see people's perfect lives painted and plastered all over the internet. But what about truth? What about the real raw life that is being lived off the screen? What about the emotions? What about the moments in which we feel like everything is falling apart, or the moments in which we are struggling, or the moments in which we feel like we don't know what we're doing, or the moments in which we're starting anew. Because I don't know about you, but I don't see a lot of that on the internet. I don't see a lot of people showing up and just being freaking raw and real and opening their hearts to being more human in a world full of AI. I don't know. I keep saying I don't know, and actually I do know. I do know because I'm here sharing what I know. Yeah, this is what I felt called to share because it's been beating on my own heart day after day after day after day. It's been beating within my mind. And somehow, I forgot. Somehow I forgot that there's so much power and there's so much potency in the contraction. There's so much beauty and there's so much depth in the darkness. And when you're living a life that is unapologetically untamed, when you're living a life that is following a dharma, your dharma, you will be met with all aspects of life, with the stickiness and the tangledness that is not good nor bad. It just is of creation. And it's not telling you to stop, but it's telling you to keep going, but maybe to try a new way or to try again. And I'm feeling a little scared. I'm feeling a little scared, and I think it's vulnerable to share that fear, and I think it's powerful to show that fear. And I always talk about this, and so I'm going to be the example of practicing what I preach. I feel afraid, but you bet I'm going to take my fear with me. Because when I think about how many incredible souls have soared across this planet and cultivated and created the most incredible stuff, it's infinite. It's completely infinite. And that's the source that we have the power to tap into, the infinite source of creation. We hear a lot in the spiritual realm, the wellness realm, that you are the creator of your reality, and I believe that to be true. I've seen it, I've felt it, I've experienced it myself, and maybe there's a little imposter syndrome around that of like, but have I? And yes, I have. And it's time that I own that. It's time that I own that for myself, and it's time that I own that in the contraction. Because on the other side of this contraction is deep expansion. And the two have to dance with each other. They have to. We have one wild and precious life, as Mary Oliver so eloquently said. And I don't know about you, but I'm going to F around and find out in this one wild and precious life. And so I'm feeling fear of putting myself out there. I'm feeling fear of starting over. I'm feeling fear of beginning again. I'm feeling fear of it maybe not working out. I'm feeling fear of the what ifs. But thank God I'm feeling, because I would rather be feeling than not. And thank God that I have fear to accompany me on this wild journey, because it's not a bad thing. It's just a little sweet protector. And I don't know if I have a piece of advice to offer in this video, but I really don't care, because the whole point of me making this was to come on here real and raw while I'm in the midst of feeling, and to share what is just thumping within me. I want to be so real. I want to be so human. And this feels like a flag that I'm waving on that path. And I know that I can be that which I want to see more of. And I want to see more of this, more raw expression on the internet, more processing aloud in the moment on the internet. Anyways, in it all, let's take a deep exhale out of our mouths. Just take a fresh breath in. Let it go. And one more breath in. Let it go. Blink your eyes open if they're closed. To begin again. I'm sending you love, whoever you are, wherever you are. And yeah, if you're moving through something, just know you're not alone. If you're in a moment of contraction, know that what goes up must come down and what goes down must come up. The inside and the outside are always dancing together. I love you. Thanks for being here.